Okay, we're up and running.
Okay, it's 11 o'clock. We'll get our regular monthly meeting under order. Commissioner Olkers is apparently is Zoom today. Do we have any public comment? Bill?
I just was kind of, maybe I remembered wrong, but I was under the impression that the county and the city were gonna get together and clean up that burned up apartment building up there by Bowers. Did I remember wrong, or?
The last I had visited with the mayor, he had stated that that was a property that they thought they could take on themselves with their equipment.
Oh, okay.
That was the last I remember. They must have a mini excavator. There's no basement, so it sounded like that was something that they were going to handle. From my memory.
I wonder how they're gonna pick up the metal that the county had that track over with clam on it.
I've driven by and that metal's laying out there is pretty hazardous. We haven't heard anything from the city guys on that. Last we had heard that the mayor, I think when he was in, he said that was something that he figured he could handle, their group could handle. So we did do the one building.
Right.
We did have the meeting on the corner over here. Matajowski and Huber Miller came in. So that might be one with that MOU that we have put together that we can maybe earmark another MOU.
It'd be nice to get that out of there. It's a really bad sore spot for the whole town.
I think we had asked Betty to go ahead and proceed with the paperwork on her end, send that over to Abstract, do all that work.
Okay, but thank you.
Any other public comment? Seeing none, commissioner update. I don't know, Gordon, are you on? You want to update us?
Yeah.
If you can?
Yes, I got a couple of things. Last week, Jonah from the road department and myself attended Mackers in Great Falls. We learned lots of good information and had a good conference. Yesterday afternoon, I testified on House Bill 935 from Representative Thiel. She represents Richland and Roosevelt County. The bill closes the Fox Hill Water Basin for commercial use, and we'll conduct a 2-year study to determine the aquifer's future use. So that was pretty important, I think. She texted me back today and said that passed out of her committee and will be heard in the House now for the first reading. So that moved real fast. Last evening, Commissioner Muradic and myself attended the fire chief's meeting in Poplar. They discussed the new burn ban permit process. It'll be done online and it should be live in about 10 days. The cost is $5 per permit. And then that permit's good for all fire season. Roosevelt County is very fortunate. We got a strong fire chief from each one of our towns that attend. We have a strong Roosevelt County fire chief and Mike Olson. They do an excellent job. Then this morning, there's a pre-construction meeting on the lagoon in Brockton. So that's project's up and going now, starting today. And Interstate Engineering did a water pressure study in the town of Brockton, and they found low pressure, which we all knew. So the first attempt we're going to do to try fixing it is where they connected the new water tower to the main line that goes to the city. Interstate Engineering thinks there might be a block there, so we're going to have Scallion from when they work on they're right there with the Brockton Lagoon. We're going to hire them to dig that up and maybe replace that Y there to see if that's the issue, and then we'll go from there to see if we can solve that problem in the pressure in the town of Brockton. So that's all I got.
Thanks, Gordon. Doug, do you have any updates on your travels?
The only thing I traveled for was I took Lindsay McNabb, showed her some floodplain stuff for a proposed MDU building site north of Poplar. She just had some questions about the river and the floodplain. It looks like it's far enough out of the floodplain that they won't have any problems with the river. That's about it for my travels.
Last night, I didn't make it in person, but I did attend the, Roosevelt County Fair Board meeting via Zoom. They're getting closer to fair time, so they're starting to kind of put everything in place, going over the finalizations of premiums and prizes and things like that. So it's good to be able to sit in on that meeting and, follow along with them. So with that, I think that takes care of the commissioner update. It's been kind of a busy week, busy couple of weeks. So
The ordinance of the new fire permits is going to start right away now?
10 days, in 10 days, they hope to have it online.
Okay, thank you.
You're correct, Bill. That's going to be in 10 days. They're going to have it going and they're going to do some testing on it. And then we'll get information out to the general public on how to do it.
Thank-
Now, do we have a motion on our meeting minutes, regular meeting of March 11th? Doug makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Gordon seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Administrative issues. We need action on resolution 25-17, cancellation of personal property taxes delinquent 5 years or more.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Doug makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Gordon seconds it. This is to keep our taxes 5 years forward current. So this looks like it is canceling year number 6. This is on personal property. Looks to be a trailer house. Do we have any other discussion? See no discussion. Call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Action on resolution 2025-18, cancellation of real property taxes delinquent 5 years or more.
I'll make the motion.
Doug, that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Gordon seconds it. Resolution 2025-18. This is a cancellation on real estate property taxes that have been delinquent 5 years or more. This again just keeps our property taxes on track with that 5-year limit. And there are quite a few of them in here that are getting 1 year waived off of them. Do we have any further discussion?
Do you have a list of that?
I have a list right here. Yeah. I will, if we can make that available to
Thank
you. Any more discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Question, Robert, is that there's still 5 years worth of taxes
There's still,
owed on that.
yes,
You're just letting anything over 5 years is,
year number 6 is being
Yes.
waived,
Yeah.
falls off. So they still owe 5 years of taxes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Bill, that's the property that'll come up for auction if they do not clean it up. So it's just a 5-year payback on the auction for taxes. If they clean it up, then they get to keep the property. If not, it goes to auction.
So this is prepping for the tax deed sale.
okay, I thought that was anything over 3 years that hadn't been paid was up for tax deed, or possible.
It's possible to bring that up,
Uh,
but it stays 5 years or
Oh, yeah.
Top in that 1 year, but they still owe 5 years of taxes.
Yeah.
If they decide to get it out of tax lien, they got to pay those 5 years of taxes to get it cleaned up.
okay,
Yeah, we don't
otherwise-
go delinquent till after 5 years to take people's property.
Yeah, okay.
Moving on, reappointment of Julie Bach to the Health Board.
I'll make the motion.
Doug motions. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Gordon seconds. This is a 3-year term, I believe. So Julie will be reappointed to the Roosevelt County Health Board. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passed. Next administrative issue, action on Fort Peck irrigation project pumping plants upgrade. This is a letter of support. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Doug motions, we have a second.
I'll second it.
Gordon seconds. Tom is here for any questions as well, but this is, once again, a letter of support. They are going to do some changes to the pumps. They're now going to be a variable frequency drive pump, which is going to allow them to adjust the flow instead of just turning a pump on or off. They're also going to add new flow meters on the discharge pipes. Hopefully they can conserve a little bit more water when needed. If the irrigation is not as high a demand, they can slow them down or speed them up. This is for the Wyoto unit, which is 6,000 irrigated acres, and the Wolf Point Fraser units, which is approximately 13,000 acres of irrigated. Irrigation comes out of the Missouri River Channel, their main channels. They're looking at energy savings of 342,857 kilowatt hours at the Fraser pumping plant and 407,610 kilowatt hours at the Wyoto pumping plant. Annual water savings of 12,594 acre feet across both irrigation units. Do we have any other discussion?
Where's the letter of support going?
This goes to the Fort Peck irrigation project pumping unit plant. This is a letter from Chairman Justin Grayhawk. So it will go back to Fort Peck tribes.
Okay. So are they going to decide if they're going to fund it?
What's that?
The tribes will decide if they're going to
I
fund it.
believe the tribes have the funding. Go ahead, Tom.
This is part of that Accountability Act that's going through Congress right now. Anybody requesting congressional appropriation, there are several steps they have to jump through an application. And part of it is letters of support from the community that the people feel that the project is worthwhile and needed. And right now we put together probably 5, 6, 7 letters total of support for this Department of Interior funding to obtain these funds. It's something new. They haven't gone through this process before, but it's a good one.
So it's going to the tribes and then the tribes send them to the Department of Interior?
It goes to the Department of Interior, and then the tribe will be in charge of the local administration to make sure that the project gets done. They have the Water Resource Committee, and then they work through and get the planning and all of that done with the tribe engineer. But it just the money will come back to the Fort Peck tribes, and then they will disperse it in accordance with
So is the letter of support going to the tribes or is it going to the Department of Interior?
the support is going to the Fort Peck tribes to pursue this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I might add, Tom is here in representing your treasurer, secretary, president of the
President of Fort Peck Water Users.
president of the Fort Peck Water Users. Want to make that just clarify that you're in on support on that from the other hat you wear, Tom.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Moving on to claims. We have claims from March 20th in the amount of $199,956.06. We have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Doug makes a motion. Let's have a second.
I'll second it.
Gordon seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
You can keep this?
Okay.
Okay, so that should-
Moving into pay raises. Let's see. We do have on the agenda, road employees are due for their annual safety bonus. I believe this is factored in the union contract. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gordon, but we don't need to do motion on this. It's already factored in, correct?
Yeah, we don't need a motion on this. They get it, it's just maybe information that they had a safe year, they get the safety bonus.
Yeah, just a safety bonus that's coming to the guys. I believe it's $250 a person. If an injury takes them out, then it does decrease. I think the guys have been pretty safe this year from what I know, so it's good incentive for the guys to try and be a whole lot more careful out there on the grounds. Pay raise for Ty Smith from the treasurer's office, moving from grade 2-6 to grade 2-7. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
Doug makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Jordan seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion pass. New hires to the sheriff's office. Jarrett Smith, full-time deputy to the sheriff's office. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Doug makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Gordon seconds. Jarrett Smith, full-time deputy. He's requesting a start date of May 5th. He's currently a deputy from Macomb County. He's certified. So Jared will be able to fill in shifts immediately for the office. So it's great to see that he's got one that's already certified and ready to hit the ground running. Do we have any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Mary Drake being hired to the library in Culbertson. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Doug makes a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second it. Mary Drake will be working at the Culbertson Library. She will be starting on April 3rd, grade 2, range 1. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. One other new hire. This just came in. This is from the Roosevelt County Library here as well. Heather Grandboyce is due for her anniversary raise. Grade 1, range 2 to grade 1, range 3. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Doug makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
4 seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor signifies by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Do we have any other public comment at this time?
Did Gordon work at the librarian or was he just off?
I think he might have had a little glitch.
Technical problem.
Little glitch in his cell phone.
Connectivity.
I lost a little service. I'm back now.
Yeah. And, no further administrative issues needed. No unfinished business. Bill?
Did the road crew get their training on lifting? They're gonna hire somebody to,
That is tomorrow. Safety training is tomorrow. Okay. Rating training.
Yeah.
8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
are you going?
I'm gonna go. I'll be there. Any other public comment? If not, call for the close.
Make a motion.
Doug motions. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Gordon seconds. We are closed. Thank you, gentlemen.